What's next? A Jung Bahadur on steroids? That is the topic of today's soft talk. Welcome to the program. By the way, if you have not subscribed to this channel, I request you to subscribe to it, comment on our presentation, and press that like button. Why? We are trying to promote citizen journalism. We are trying to be your true voice. So every support, every like, every subscription counts. That's why we humbly request you to subscribe to this channel, to support us through your comments and likes and subscriptions. That's it. So let's begin today's presentation. By the roadside, a pond full of water hyacinth, and devoid, perhaps, of even a trickle of water. It offers an eyesore, a rare treat for this sapiens' dry eyes. What else? Along with an ensemble of buildings, votive chaityas and the like, against the backdrop of a pine forest. Sapiens spill over onto a narrow road along with dogs on the prowl, dogs on the loose, and monkeys on the prowl, and a steady stream of vehicles moving towards you don't know where. In a fast atrophying world. A little above, a piece of the pangea beacons. A piece of the pangea beacons the traveler, further divided by a civilization that takes pride in all things cement, concrete, iron, and such inorganic materials that take eons to decay. Such is our world, such is our civilization, the sapien civilization, if you will. No wonder human civilization is a graveyard for all other things, living and non living both. Call it human ingenuity. Long and winding concrete steps went through a segment of the ancient woods, fenced on either side by iron rails, giving birth to two separate simian nations. A fine example of nation building in this country turned into a banana republic, right? Much to the relief of this occasional walker, monkeys on either side of the divide, they seem to be at peace with themselves and the rest of the world. Even that is under a close watch of alpha males on either side, even as peace remains elusive, peace remains in pieces throughout this living planet, with or without our ancient mantras, wishing for peace and bliss everywhere and in everything. A peace is a peace after all, isn't it? Whether it's simian or sapien, right? A peace is a peace after all, and it's welcome anyway, without or with or without the involvement of the League of Nations 2.0, right? not having to dispatch the blue helmets to another war zone. It's a huge relief for the deep pockets of the world, buddy, isn't it? Here, a note of caution to the dwellers of Singhadarbar and other burnt out state power centers, that is, centers of state powers. A simian truce in the woods may prompt, Nepali sapiens to stage protests demanding a simian rule in the country for the longevity of this regime, this rigged regime, Therefore, our rulers would do well to restrict the entry of Nepali nationals into these woods, these pristine woods, and about make think about earning big money by slapping hefty entrance fees on foreign nationals. By the side of those winding steps lies a sapien, probably full of his day's fill, breathing peacefully and rhythmically, as if he has found the station of life that he wanted to be in for long, beneath a lovey-dovey couple seeking a quiet corner far away from an urban jungle that appears to be advancing, towards these woods like the Burnham Woods advancing in those Macbethian times. Winds with fragrance of herbs blow from the ancient woods, mixing freely with modern air, carrying the fragrance of incense wafting from nearby homes, and these winds mix with emissions of all sorts coming from a bustling metropolis. Leaving monkeys holding a fragile peace, a granny burning the calories with her rather unwilling grandchild, and monks strolling around in their flowing robes. This sapien makes himself comfortable beneath a tree and turns on the pages of Chris Miller's much talked Chip War. Ah, another war in a world already grappling with several wars. In the segment that this sapien is currently in, Japan has left the United States way behind in the industrial scale production and use of chips, a very important component in diverse products ranging from mobile phones to precision guided missiles to warplanes. What a glorious chapter in their contemporary history. The Japanese must be feeling quite proud at that moment. We, the Nepalese, facing a shaky present and a very uncertain future, take immense pride in our past, don't we? We take immense pride in all things past, especially the ancient past, not the contemporary one. Barring a few notable exceptions, of course, like the September 9 inferno that turned Simadarbar into a cinder, our lion palace into a cinder in a jiffy of sorts. Do they ever get time to just turn back the pages of history. I wonder, this sapien guesses that the goings are so great in that country that a busy and industrious people obsessed with efficiency hardly have any time to turn on the pages of contemporary history, leave alone the chapters of Meiji restoration and the like. Alas, one cannot remain in and survive amid woods, fenced woods in particular, with entry restricted from every corner to turn them into some exclusive zones for powerful interests, right? So, after soaking in enough of the sun, the wind, the ether, the fire, the water, and sanity for the day from a piece of the ancient Gaia that seems to be atrophying a bit less, unlike the modern metropolises, unlike the urban centers that we have. After soaking in all these things, the sapien returns to catch up with a world in a state of flux, leaving behind the drunk sapien monkeys observing a Solomon peace and all other entities under the watchful gaze of the presiding deity. So, upon his return home, what does he just come across then? A barrage of headlines greets this sapien. A journalist found dead in suspicious circumstances. Components of an almost ready railway track stolen. A red ink attack on a youth leader of a party well past its prime. An ancient press comes home from a museum. That's quite symbolic, isn't it? We take pride, as I said, in our like a distant past. So this is quite symbolic, isn't it? As they say, the more things change, the more they remain the same. It's so true in the context of Nepal, I guess. Are these not some of the subtle signs of a systemic decline, as if the protests of September 8 and 9 were not a clear enough indication? I wonder. I leave you wondering. Okay. And then, granted that a political system is not a Carnot engine, the most efficient theoretical heat engine, still, what is the efficiency of our prevailing political system marked by chronic policy level corruption, nepotism, rule by law, and political instability? 20%? That's quite higher than expected, I guess. It may not even be 20% the efficiency of this juggernaut called the government. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely, states Lord Acton. The Lord is the title, not our Lord, but their title. All right. I don't believe in lordships and knightships and barons and baronesses and whatnot. Okay. Wendell Phillips adds, eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. Power is ever stealing from the many to the few. Okay. In this day and age of mass enlightenment, when information and knowledge are at our fingertips, what are we doing with it, by the way? Alas, wisdom is not. What do a people who think their duty as citizens is over after voting tired, tasted, and failed political leaderships to power time and time again? What do they get? What do they deserve? All right? And what do a people who trade their votes for petty gains, I mean, what do they get? What do a people who rise only occasionally against institutionalized corruption, nepotism, political instability, and consigned state organs built with their blood, sweat, toil, and tears to flames, what do they get? Ferdinand Marcos 2.0, Imelda Marcos 2.0, Bokassa 2.0, Teuba, Oli, Dahal, Nepal, what else? What do they get? What do they deserve? That is what I ask. A Jung Bahadur on steroids and pacemaker presiding over a republic hurtling towards the Stone Age? I leave you with this question. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my rants.